Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armored Warfare. Today I have some tier 3 PTS gameplay for you in the form of the XM800T LAW. Now, at the time of playing this vehicle, it's completely broken. And apparently there's a bug with the launcher on it, the heat launcher called, well, the LAW. It does way too much damage, and I think it probably has too much penetration for tier 3. Does like 550 damage a shot, something like that, and has like a 6-second reload. Now, the stats of the vehicle, I don't have a comparison with the existing vehicle, but you still retain a similar cannon, but the cannon's drum has gone down from 45 rounds to only 15. Damage has also gone down a little bit, but the penetration is also, 65. I think it's pretty similar, maybe a little bit less. However, as it stands, the vehicle currently doesn't really need to use the 15-round autocannon, 20mm autocannon. It makes more sense, or the most sense rather, to use the heat of the LAW. It's just completely broken. So currently it retains its good camera rating. There's an M68-1 that's a new tank coming into the game at tier 4. Well, it's basically an M68-3 but a tier lower, and with maybe slightly worse gun handling and view range and stuff. I don't know, I've never played it. I still can't access the PTS, I'm not actually a member of it. First shot from the heat doesn't go in, but currently we have 50 shots to play around with, so it doesn't really matter. Been spotted by another XM800T, but we pull back. Oh, of course, the stats, if you're interested, I'll have them up on the screen. So, we take 4 hits there from the XM800T, but only totals around 120 damage. And we have 1745 at, well, completely, well, down a little bit now, but never mind. As this allo, we fire a few hits, well, a few shots. One of them hit, didn't pen, unfortunately. Reloading the clip is quite simple, it's quite quick, 4.5 seconds. I wonder how they're going to balance this vehicle again though, because as I said, the vehicle currently, well in this patch anyway, I'm not sure if it's changed since I last played on the PTS, has just astronomical damage and penetration for a tier 3 armoured fighting vehicle, which probably shouldn't have that kind of firepower. Now additionally I should mention the vehicle in the current game, 018, has difficulty penetrating various tanks that it will meet, tier 4 especially, and even tier 3. The IS-7 for instance has 150mm of armour all round, thicker on the turret obviously, but you can't pen that tank anywhere with the cannon on the XM800T as it stands now. Oh yeah, there you go, you see 5.88 second reload time for this tank. It does around 400 to 500 damage per shot in 6 seconds. That's quite astronomical. And apparently it's quite accurate as well, because that M68-1, even though he's, let's see, 400 meters away, we can pen him twice in a row with these shells. So the lowest damage we've done so far with the heat has been 393, and the highest of course 506, so you're going to be doing a substantial amount of damage unless they're going to change the damage and penetration. Well, they probably will. So take this gameplay with a pinch of salt, as you're probably already aware. M60's still up, but this flank is pretty much okay. The mobility of the tank is still as good as it was before. I think it may be slightly different in terms of its top speed. According to the stats, it is 88 kilometers an hour, I believe. Yep, 88.2 kilometers an hour for its top speed. Which, could be worse. Could be a lot better, but, it's a mobile, nippy little thing with no armor. What do you really expect to have? 420 meters view range at the moment as well, 15 degrees of gun depression. And additionally, that counts for the launcher as well, as you're going to see later, even though the launcher is mounted to the side of the turret. And I don't think it actually goes up or down. But the way it's been modelled in game seems to override this logical conclusion that I thought about the LAW. Anyway, getting close here to this M68-1. We don't actually pen him at all with our pretty crappy gun. This 20mm is pretty crappy, but somebody else on our team takes him down. And this flank is pretty much secure now, but there's a lot of enemies on the other side of the river, so we need to get over there, see what we can do. We also get smoke grenades. I was just testing the heat on the move. No idea if it's, you know, any good accuracy wise. And we get a spot on an AMX10P90 who appears to be AFK. Now of course this is a test server, so he may have just disconnected, or in fact he has disconnected. At the top right you can see. So that's unfortunate for him, but we can just see how this tank can just rip apart very thinly armoured opponents with two 15 round clips and 2 heat into the side. Picking up 1800 odd damage very, very quickly. Of course, if that player was actually in the game, we wouldn't have been able to do that without moving around him, but we probably would have been able to outmaneuver him. As you can see, this thing's bombing it along at 70 km an hour on cross-country terrain. So we're behind enemy lines right now. We can see on the minimap that the enemies were in the refinery, but they've moved out now and are going towards the cap circle. The good news is no one has seen us since that AMX-10P, so we can move around the back. This was the first game I played in this vehicle, and you can already tell that if they leave this vehicle as it is, which, as I think I've seen on the forums with Silent Stalker saying, it's weird that name, Silent Stalker saying that it will be changed or it's bugged currently. It might have been someone else. You can see the recoil of the gun there. That wasn't me moving my mouse back, but the recoil of the gun is pretty high. And again there, but we got 2 shots in to that Object 430 without him really reacting. Or rather, he managed to turn his front to us, but even his front armor is, well, not impenetrable, it's penetrable very easily, even at that angle and distance. Of course, heat rounds don't lose their penetration at distance, but even so, the angle was quite something. Up to 5,000 damage done, 4 enemies remain, including higher tier opponents, like that T55M1. That's the replacement, or the rework modification of the Object 155. Wish I could get some gameplay of some more vehicles. They've added tier 8 now, but I'm not a member of the PTA, so I can't, or the PTS, so I can't join it. We managed to bounce that shot there. We lose quite a lot of health. We played a bit foolishly here, but never mind. Doing around 6,000 damage is no mean feat for a tier 3, but currently this is way, way, way overperforming. It's more like a tier 4 or 5 with the penetration and the damage that this gun has. We only picked up 3 kills that match, but we managed to do 6,500 damage. And the end, well, in fact we actually get killed by this Leopard 1A1, so we'll move on to the post-game stats. So there we are, 6,000 reputation, 180,000 credits, more with premium account. I don't have one active, we didn't have any gold at the time I played. Top of the team on damage and base reputation, 6,500 damage in total. This tank is broken at the moment, but it was quite fun to play. I wonder how they will change it before 2.0019 releases. And as always, I've been Geogen, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.